Hey Virgo, welcome to your 2020 Sidereal Astrology forecast. So this video is for Sidereal Astrology, which uses the actual size of the constellations. This is different from all forms of mainstream astrology, including Vedic, and the signs are different. So you will notice that your signs in this system are different from those. And you do want to make sure that you're watching this video for your true sidereal sign. So down below in the comment section, there is a birth chart calculator where you can type in your birth information to see your sidereal signs, to see exactly which constellation all of the planets were in at the time of your birth. Now you do want to watch this for either your ascendant, sun, or moon sign, and I do recommend these videos for your ascendant if you do know your time of birth, but in either case all three should be applicable, and if you do want a more holistic kind of view, you can watch all three videos for a more personalized reading. All right, so Virgo, let's go ahead and take a look. Let's have a look at the outer planets, where are they placed in your chart, what kind of aspects are they forming, and then we'll also look at the eclipses, which can give a good look at the year ahead as a whole. So the most important key area that's being activated for you is the fourth house of home, family, the past, and fundamentally our emotional security. And it can sometimes deal with our health as well when that's a factor with emotional security. So it's the foundation of the chart, and it's the foundations of a lot of things in life. Now Saturn's been in here the past 2 years, so you've maybe been noticing some limitations here. You've been working hard or being patient and disciplined when it comes to this home or private life sector. And so it is still a really good year to continue with that work and diligence and patience in regards to this. But this year is definitely very different because we do have expansive Jupiter coming into the mix. And so all year, great year to expand your perspective about what's possible with your home life or where you live. Some of you might be traveling in regards to living or abroad or long distance. Some of you may be living rural lands or getting more adventurous with your home life. But whatever it is, there's more expansion taking place, and it's just important to see your home life from a bunch of different angles, think big about it, and you'll be learning a lot about it, even learning a lot about your past and your family and all this stuff that can be very, very beneficial. Now, January 10th, we have a lunar eclipse, which will be in the opposite area of the 10th house, which deals with public and career matters. And so in this case, a great time to do a status check mid-month in January to see how is your career, how's your achievement life, maybe even your public life for some of you. And if there has been anything from 6 months before this that started anew in regards to your career achievements, this could be a culminating point with some of these things, or at the very least a shift and pivot that through this awareness you'll gain at this time about it, you'll be able to further develop this area for the first, particularly the first 6 months of 2020, but really for the whole of 2020. And that's going to help balance out what is this more private life sector that's getting activated this year. Because we do need career and achievement to help balance out the home and private life, and of course vice versa. Now, coming back to this home and private life sector, on January 12th, we do have Saturn and Pluto conjoining. So Pluto, the transformer, Saturn, the builder, getting together. This is going to be a restructuring for a lot of the systems that we have collectively and personally for the world at large. So in this case, it is in that home and personal life sector. So what I would say is that January is a really good month to practice non-attachment to home or the past or your private life. Because when we are more non-attached, then we're willing to make changes. And that's what it's really calling us to do, is to restructure, make some changes from any foundations that maybe already have existed in this sector for as far back as 36 years, in fact. But here, nonetheless, good to do that, non-attachment. And that's going to help remove some things, transform some things, so that Saturn, the builder, can help us again build this area, which is going to be very constructive all year long with both Saturn and Jupiter transiting through here. Now, February, we have Jupiter sextiling Neptune, nothing major, but February 20th, there's just a nice synergy between that personal life sector and your work and routine sector. There's going to probably be some things starting to clear up once you get to about April, and especially once you get to February of next year, in regards to your work, routine or health sector, if there's been anything since 2010 that has been uncertain or nebulous regarding this stuff, that all starts to clear up slowly this year. And so, again, give it a little bit later, but February, there's a nice link here. You might be quite receptive with your home. I mean, that could be the case too, but more receptive with your work life or your routine life, personal life, and that's just linking up very nicely with these developments that are happening with your home sector. So this aspect will be from February 20th until October 12th, and the midpoint where things might shift would be July 27th. All right, and then March we have Saturn going into domicile of Capricorn, where he's very comfortable, between March through June, and then again, which will be December till February of 2023. So starting basically at the end of this year is when Saturn will be officially entering into this sector. But we do get a little bit of a prelude to that March through June. And this is the sector that deals with our passions in life. Saturn's going to help you now start to build upon your passions. What are you passionate about? For some of you, it's kids. For some of you, it's romance. For some, it's creative stuff, maybe small businesses. Some of you might be starting some small businesses. So Saturn's going to help you really build upon your passions in life. March through June's a prelude, but especially once we get to December, all the way through 2021, 2022, and through February of 2023 in regards to that. And this also, for this little brief moment from March through June, starts to lift off any of the more limiting energies you might be feeling in regards to the home or the personal life that have been the case the past 2 years, generally speaking. Now, April, we have Neptune going into domicile, which is your 7th house of relationships, of Pisces. And this is, again, just a bit of a prelude as to what 2021 and onward will be like. And in this case, April through September, this more receptive energy coming into your relationship sector. Some of you may have some dreams and ideals about relationships. Maybe some of you starting some spiritual relationships, very ideally, very dreamy, maybe romantic for some of you. But again, it could also be professional relationships. And so there's this kind of deeper water energy. And so we do want to be clear, want to just be aware of not seeing things as clearly. We're under a bit of an influence wherever Neptune is. But still, nonetheless, Neptune is helping you have a more receptive approach to your relationships. And this is a great time to start to practice that. More living in the present moment, more acceptance, surrendering what's outside of your control, spiritually attuning to, your relationships, April through September, and then February of 2021 onward. Now, also in April, we have Jupiter then passing over Pluto, and that is again in that home sector. So again, transformations happening here. And the difference here, though, is that Jupiter, again, being the expander, really helps us see the bigger picture about things. So it's an excellent time, April 4th through November 12th, and maybe particularly these months, and even June 30th in between there. Great time to really see if there are any deep things you can approach or face regarding your relationship with your home or your family or the past. Maybe doing some psychological work or shadow work. Jupiter helps us see the more optimistic side, the more inspiring side, the potentials with these things. And this can end up becoming a very empowering time. Because when we are, a little more open-minded about deeper things like, stuff we're afraid of and, our inhibitions and traumas even and things like this, when we're more open-minded about it, it becomes much more easier to work with. And so great opportunity here to do some of this inner work in regards to this emotional security stuff in life. And that's going to help support a lot of the transformations and changes here. Now, June 21st, we have a solar eclipse. This will be in that productive and achievement sector. And so something new starting to emerge here. Some of you may be starting some new things with your career or your public life or your achievement life. And again, that's helping balance out more of the personal life that's getting a lot of these changes and structures being built. So great to see what new emerges here late June, but do be flexible around the work and achievement stuff because we're going to have a lot of retrogrades. Venus is going to be retrograde for the month and a half before that, and even Mercury will be retrograde for about 2 weeks after that and the week before it. So lots of flexibility, lots of rethinking, new information, changing, things like this. But with that flexibility, maybe seeing how the second half of 2020 can be a very good time of developing your career, your achievement life, your public life, whatever it might be there on that level. Now, September, we have Neptune coming back into Aquarius, your 6th house. So from that September until that February of next year, good to maybe finalize that more receptive approach to your work or career sector. Like I said, since 2010, there may have been more nebulousness, more uncertainty in regards to work, routine, or health. But this all starts to get wrapped up. And so anything you can do to finalize more acceptance, more peace in the routine, spiritual activities, meditation, maybe even cultivating any dreams or ideals you may have around your work or personal development. Could be a really good few months to finalize that. And then November 30th, we have a lunar eclipse. This will be in your 9th house. This is where things start to change with the path, because before this, we have the shifting of the nodes. The nodes will be changing signs. And in this case, they're going into your 3rd and 9th house, which deals a lot with understanding and perspective. And in this case, on November 30th, good time to do a status check with your outlook on life, your belief, your adventurous life. If there's anything 6 months prior to this that started in regards to travel or adventure, your philosophy, some things could be culminating here, but most importantly, just see if there are any new things you can explore and further develop regarding your philosophy, your adventurous life, your worldview, and your spirit for life going into 2021. And this is coinciding with the solar eclipse that will have December 14th in the 3rd house of practical matters. And so maybe some things from the past life or something may be emerging in regards to the practical life, information, maybe your peers or siblings, reading, writing, anything like that, communication. So nothing to really do, as much as it's just a good time to be aware of what is coming to surface here, because there's likely going to be some releasing, which is going to lead to some new beginnings emerging with your practical life. And this is going to help you find that balance between the more expansive life and the practical life going into 2021. All right, and then lastly, we have Jupiter and Saturn conjoining on December 21st. Again, they're in the same house for you of your home and personal life all year, but this conjunction really solidifies things. It's, again, Saturn the builder, the contractor, contacting Jupiter, the expander, the benefic. And so any opportunities, any inspirations can become very grounded, very constructive. And again, finalizing, especially with Saturn, leaving that sector on around that same time in December of 2020. All right, so everyone have a fantastic 2020. Thank you so much for watching, Virgo. If you would like a personal reading, be sure to check out the link down below for a 20% discount. That's good for both the Skype session, or if you prefer an MP3 recorded reading looking at your specific chart, because of course this is a general reading and your unique chart is unique to you. But anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic year. Thank you so much for all of your support, and I'll see you all in the next daily video. Take care.